What's good, everyone? It's your boy Natsu with another video for the channel. Welcome back to DV Sports Zone. And today I got a guest who's been on the channel in the past, brought very good energy, has been producing great content over the last months, right? I believe it's 3 months now in your
Yeah, just
content
about.
journey. Yeah,
Oh
about 3
yeah.
months in his YouTube journey. Rio Robinson from Rambling About Washington, Sidelines Washington is here for the Washington Football Weekly live stream. And this is the official live stream before before our
Woo!
week 1 matchup against the Los Angeles Chargers. It's going to be an absolutely fun one. I apologize for being late, guys, but we're here now and we're going to have a very good time tonight. The first question I want to ask you, Rio, for the few people out there who don't know who you are right now and the Washington football team community, can you please introduce yourself to the channel?
That's all right, man. I'm still new to the scene, but yeah, I'm Rio Robinson. I do the Rambling About Washington podcast, Rambling with Rio Robinson YouTube channel. I'm a fan ambassador of the Washington football team. You've probably seen me mixing things up on Twitter. You know, I always have a lot to say.
Yeah.
I got into a nice little scuffle on the radio yesterday with JP and B Mitch, but it's always a good time. We bring the energy. And I love Washington football team. I love sports. I live this. And, you know, I'm just trying to be like Nazi and all these other channels out here. My guy Protect. I'm trying to be like, oh, y'all, man. I'm just trying to mix it up with the community, talk Washington football, and see us actually succeed. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. Shout out to Protech and Patrick West, who are already in the chat right now. But, I mean, you talked about talking it up on social media this week. And I did get a chance to listen to the clip that you put out, the audio clip of the podcast, Tanya Snyder episode of ESPN Adam Schefter's podcast that was released earlier this week. Here's the space to basically talk about what you talked about over social media for those who missed it. And also, if you have any thoughts on whether ownership here, whether we're actually seeing a real change in DC. And also, if you have a favorite name out of the 8 that are reportedly out there, but the list itself was reportedly shot down.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. There's no list, first of all. There's no 8 list. I'm gonna put it to you like I told JP and B Mitch, and they didn't want to hear it because it didn't align with what they were trying to push. They're great though. I love their show. I love both of them guys. There's no list of 8 names. We were shown for the Making the Brand documentary about 12 or 13 names. And about 12 or 13 logo concepts. And they want to feature and show all the fans what we saw in this docu-series because they want everybody to be along for the journey. This is supposed to be a fun process. I know a lot of people are butthurt over the name changing. Well, guess what? It changed. And for years, there's been a disconnect between the fan base and the organization. People like Jason Wright, they're trying to bridge that gap and give us a look behind the curtain. They can't pick all 50 million of us fans and interview every single one of us, but they picked a few of us, and it was a great time. And they didn't even show all the good stuff yet. That Making the Brand series is not over. That's all I can say without getting in trouble. But Making the Brand series is not over. And Tanya Snyder, she spoke to Adam Schefter. For one thing, the owner here doesn't speak. So us hearing from her for like a 45-minute interview, that's nice. I see people, they've nitpicked every line of her interview with Adam Schefter like she's running for goddamn president. Like, relax. Yes, she made some missteps in her comments and some of it. And but I'm happy to see that our face of our franchise is actually speaking to someone. And but the whole list of 8 thing, that whole situation was played terribly by Schefter. And the fact that like JP and them ran with Tanya Snyder confirmed the list of 8 names, the brigade, armada, blah, blah, that never happened. That never happened. And if anyone listened to the full clip and not the little edited and doctored clip they put on B Mitch and Finley, like that never happened. The only thing that was confirmed in that conversation is that a new name is being selected and that they're down to 3 finalists. 3 finalists, because we actually know that means that they have the name selected and there's 2 backup options in case something happens. So that's where I stand on that. And people don't want to hear that, but that's how the situation played out.
I will say my only complaint after listening to the clip that you sent out, my only complaint was that Miss Tanya Snyder, she didn't seem like she was prepared for the question, because Adam Schefter asked like, "What are your thoughts on like these 8 names and like and the list that's out there?" And she was like, "Oh, that is that like what it is, like the 8 names?" Like I don't know, it just seemed like she wasn't prepared for the question. And as CEO, as
I don't
recently
think
appointed
she.
CEO of the
Yeah,
team, I feel like you got yeah.
I feel like it was the wording of the question and how he brought it about, and
Okay.
I think it kind of like it shouldn't shock you because you know you're
Yeah.
going to be asked about it.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is her first. This is her first crack at it. Like she gonna learn on the go. You know
That's
what?
fair.
I'm like. I couldn't imagine Dan sitting with Adam Schefter and having
Yeah.
that
You could
conversation.
imagine
So
Dan sitting with local reporters, let alone like
yeah.
a top
Hell
dog
yeah.
like Adam
So,
Schefter.
I like to see that she's actually mixing it up with her. But they made that such a big deal. I can promise you 100%. I can say with 100% certainty that is no final 8 list of names. And I'm trying to watch what I say here because I can't say more. I can't say too much. But
Yeah,
my
I just
favorite, my favorite name of the group is still I want some variation of Wolf. And I will stand by right now that I still believe that that's going to be the favorite because
okay.
Jason Wright, yes, they're talking. I think some of this is just misdirection. Like we're gonna honor the past, blah blah blah. They're gonna find a way to cherish the tradition and history of the franchise. When you have a name that's trended for over a year straight, like I had Chargers guys on my podcast that cover the team for the beaten out in LA. They know about Red Wolves and like Red Wolves, and they're in LA. They don't follow this name process. This thing has went on for years. So for everyone, it's just social, it's just kids on social media. No, this Wolves thing is real. I think some variation of Wolf should be the name because if it's not, you should have did what you did with Warriors and let the fans down earlier because the more you tease it and show people howling in the videos and you keep showing different logos of Wolf, you make them think it's possible. And I think they might have let us down by now if that wasn't the case. So, but we'll see. I'm with whatever it is. Make nice uniforms.
Yes on the uniforms. Yes on the uniforms. I love the redesigns that I've seen online with like the actual gold on the uniforms and like the actual
my guy Steve.
Yeah,
shout out to
yes.
my guy Steve Gonzalez, man. He's so good, man.
For sure. So hopefully they listen to the fans and actually I don't know, make one of those uniforms an actual legit thing.
Let me ask you something. So what if they stay Washington football team, right? Except they take team and they put Wolves and it's Washington Football Wolves. You know how the Giants are their actual full name is the New York Football Giants?
Yeah.
But for the Washington Football Wolves, that's a compromise. Like we stay Washington football. I still hate it. I don't like
I know. I still hate it too. Oh no. Washington Football Wolves. You got to choose one or the other at this point.
Take football out, man. I'm telling you, Washington Wolves, WW, that's the way.
See, that's where you and I differ. I do like Wolves. I do like any variation of the Wolves, but I much rather have the Red Wolves be the new name than the Wolves. And I've talked to you about this offline.
Hell yeah, we've talked about it. Yeah.
Yes, I think the HTTR hashtag. I know a lot of people want to do away with the old, especially the younger generation.
That would make a lot of people happy though if they.
Yes, for me, that's at least something to hold on to. I think replacing like Redskins with like Red Wolves, I think that would be a positive step in the right direction. And again, it will allow us to hold on to something that that one of the few things from like the old name, the old era and stuff. One of the few good things, right? I mean, that hashtag was used all over social media. I hate like whatever it is now. Or last year was Washington Football, hashtag Washington Football, way too long. This year I don't even know what it is, but
it's they brought it back. They brought it back today. Washington Football, they brought it back.
Oh my!
It's okay, man. We got a name coming. But I will assure everyone this though. I only say this because I know this.
Yeah.
Jason Wright and the marketing team at Code in Theory who are handling this process, I promise you, they are sharp. They are thorough as hell. This is not being taken lightly.
Of course, Jason Wright is. He's my U Chicago brethren, bro. Like we talked about this on camera. Yeah.
Hell yeah. But Code and Theory, they're doing a great job, man. I think people are going to be really proud. I think they're going to have to push up that announcement date though, because I don't know how they can keep that a secret to the end of the year.
Yeah. I think reportedly they were going to release it like around draft time 2022. I don't know.
I think that was the original plan, but I imagine you're not going to start the new league year without a name when you're going to sign free agents and stuff. I imagine it's going to be it's going to be between the Super Bowl and the Combine, I think, personally. Personally speaking, I'm not announcing anything.
Yeah. Shout out to my cousin who just joined. The next question I want to ask you, of course, the other big news that's been around this week with regards to our Washington football team. This one is sad because we haven't seen him on the field, on the practice field since May 5th, May 6th.
I don't know.
Thoughts on Curtis Samuel reportedly re-aggravating his groin injury yesterday, and when do you actually think he'll be on the team or on the field for this team?
Well, that's a great question because I will say I was dead wrong on this situation. I'll eat my crow right now. I was saying this whole time, oh, they're saving him for week 1. They're tucking him in the cut. You know, he's not really hurt. This is not a thing. No, this is a thing. This is definitely a thing. And at this point, if there's a surgery that can make this situation better, he should just get the surgery. I don't know if we're going to see him anytime soon. I don't expect to see him the first 2 weeks at all at this point. So, but you know what that means? That just means it's Dyami Brown season. Hence you already know. Throw the deuces. Yeah. Throw the deuces.
Yeah. It's kind of sad. I mean, this is completely unrelated to the team and more so about my fantasy team. But I did trade for Curtis Samuel, actually. But it was more so to get a top tight end because I got Tyler Higbee instead of what's his name, Hunter Henry from the Patriots. So I still like the trade right now because of the tight end that I got. But Curtis Samuel being out, Dyami Brown now, like you said, he's gonna get a lot of targets. Hence this thumbnail.
He's ready, man.
Do you think you potentially have a better day on the field come week 1 than Scary Terry, who's probably going to get the best of the Chargers cornerbacks right now? Do you think Terry's gonna have the bigger day still, or what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, Fitzpatrick spreads that thing around, so true. I'm not really positive who's gonna have the bigger day, but I know Dyami. The one thing I see from him is he can separate. It doesn't matter what you put in front of him. He's going to find space. He's going to get open. And he can definitely beat you deep. And Fitzpatrick is definitely going to let it fly. So I'm with it. I can't wait to see. I've been saying all year, by the end of the season, it may be trending towards Dyami being the most talented receiver on the roster. Like Terry could be the most technically sound one, but talent-wise, it could be Dyami. He looks like it, bro. Like just the way he looks in practice, walking around, you know what I'm saying, with the jersey up, you know what I'm saying? He's bigger in person than he looks on TV. Like he looks like a star. He walks like a star. He knows he's going to be good. I like it.
Okay. Bold take right there. But, there was also some other news. This was like way earlier in the week and might have not popped up on a lot of fans' radar, but the People's Corner, Jimmy Moreland, did get picked up by the Houston Texans, the lowly Houston Texans. How comfortable are you with our current cornerback group right now with, of course, St. Juste, William Jackson III. You also have Kendall Fuller as well, McTire, Daryl Roberts. Huh? Trapke. Oh my gosh. The first white starting cornerback in the NFL since 2000.
Trailblazer. Jason Sehorn and Trailblazer. Trailblazer in the game, man. We got someone cornering the market for white DBs in 2021. Oh man, that's interesting. I'm good with our quarterback room though.
Okay.
No, what are you about to say about Apke?
No, I was about to say hopefully he plays better at corner than safety this year, because if not, then he's gonna be out the door in short order. But so you're comfortable with the room?
Yeah, I'm comfortable with the run. I really want to see this lineup of St. Juice on the outside opposite Jackson with Fuller in the slot, because Fuller is a better inside corner than he is an outside. He's kind of a liability when they go vertical when he's on the outside. And I love the guy, Jason Sehorn. I know there were once white cornerbacks in the NFL. That's crazy. Hell yeah, I remember that too.
You know what also happened around not exactly, but around the time that we've had our last white cornerback in this division. You know what else has happened? That was the last time that we had a repeat division winner.
Yep, 2004. All right, the Eagles.
I mean, maybe that's a sign. Maybe that's
yeah. That's definitely a sign, because it's going down. It's going down. We're gonna win a division this year. I don't know how pretty or ugly it's gonna be. We're gonna win a division this year. We'll talk
about that a little bit later in the stream, but I agree with you. I'll just say that. Next thing I want to ask you, and this has really nagged at me throughout the offseason. I don't know if it's done the same for you. I was on the KJ Wright boat from early March. I thought Washington should have signed him. I thought Washington should have signed him a couple of weeks ago when obviously they're trying to boost their linebacker group. I mean, he was number 67 on the NFL top 100 list, and I know the players list can be wrong, right? Terry was off it, right? You put a guy like Corey Davis and Cole Beasley ahead of Terry McLaurin. I get that there are mistakes on there, but I think it just shows you. Yeah, I know. I think it just shows you the amount of respect, at least, that players have for KJ Wright still at this stage of his career, age 31, going to his age 32 season. Now he's signed with the Las Vegas Raiders. How comfortable are you with our linebacker group right now? Because let's just say I'm not.
I mean, I got to see it first, because I think Jamin's going to be fine. Like, first of all, people need to lay off Jamin. Like, that's ridiculous, man. Like, the dude hasn't played a goddamn regular season game yet, and I see people, like, being very, very low on him. Like, dude, there's no way you chopped up enough preseason film to come to a conclusion that Jamin Davis is not ready to be a good NFL linebacker. Mm-hmm. I mean, first things first, he's more athletic than Bostic. So him being in the middle already makes me more comfortable than that. Even though Bostic's a captain, you know, they had to give him a nice swan song on his way out this year. Because we know this is his last year with the team.
Yes.
That's the only reason why I see he got a captain's pad. I don't understand it. Yes. Well, he has leadership quality. Not everybody has actual skill.
Yeah, I was about to say, doesn't matter if you just have leadership quality in the NFL, right? We're not talking about college, we're not talking about high school. Yeah. In the NFL, to just have leadership qualities and have no skill to back that up, I think that's a problem.
Like, honestly, like, I'm not the type of person that I don't need to field 53 choir boys. Like, there's gonna be some, you got to have a couple jackasses on the team that are just great at football. Like, come on now, Lawrence Taylor was one of the greatest 5 players we've ever seen in football, and I'm not gonna go into everything he got into, but he got into a lot. He got a lot into him. Like, boy, I ain't gonna go there.
Yeah, got stories to tell to this day about him in his off-the-field endeavors.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, I'm excited to see what we're doing. And Jack Del Rio today, he said, keep sleeping on Cole Holcomb if you want to. Cole Holcomb is primed for a big season. I like to see it, because our linebackers don't have a harder job as most of the teams in the league. We have 4 monsters, probably 5 counting Ioannidis, in front of you. Your job should be easier for that. You should be getting a lot of clean lanes to shoot through. I would like to see our run fits get better, and we stop the run a little better this year, because if not, we're going to get gashed by these great quarterbacks when they can get their run game going and just make their pass game come out seamlessly.
Yeah. And as we're heading into the first game of the season, Cowboys versus Bucks, I'll take this slight pause in this whole Washington football team talk and ask you about your thoughts on the game tonight that's about to happen in, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 minutes. Buccaneers versus Cowboys. Do you think the Cowboys are going to keep it close against the defending champs, or are the Cowboys going to rot tonight against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
I would love to see them just get rinsed to start the year, but I think it's going to be a fun-ass game. I think the Cowboys are going to keep it close, because that offense is potent. Even though they're missing Zach Martin because he has COVID, hope he gets better soon, all-pro guard. But Dak is good, and he has weapons at he has weapons that can score on anyone. So, like, people forget, like, in 5 games last year, he had like 2,000 yards and like 20 touchdowns. He was on a like MVP type tear. They weren't doing.
The Cowboys started 1-3 though.
Oh yeah,
so, even
of
with all
course.
his personal.
I mean, at the end of the day, Rain Dakota Prescott can't play defense though. And we need to see what that defense is, because that secondary is suspect as hell. Their linebacker room stepped it up. Like, I like what they got. They got Cox, Keanu Neal, and Micah Parsons out there on the linebacker crew. And their D-line is, they got some ballers up front, but their secondary might be food. It does not concern. It just, they got the rapper kid, Kelvin Joseph. Like, I'm not, their secondary does not concern me at all. But I think it's going to be a fun game. I think it's going to be one of those like 27-24 type games to open the year, and they're going to keep it close because, that's what the league wants. They put Dallas versus the champs. So it's like, it's Brady. It's the guy the league loves, and it's NFL Mickey Mouse, Dallas. They're Mickey Mouse. They're Disney. They have plot armor, like America's team.
I mean, on the Brady point, I don't know if the NFL loves Brady. I think the NFL loves to hate Brady. I'll give you that. True. I mean, I think the NFL respects him more than any other player, and rightfully so. Right. He's the GOAT. But no, I'm with you. I want to blow out. I want the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to absolutely blow out the Dallas Cowboys, give Cowboys fans a bad taste in their mouth after week 1. Although, like Stephen A. Smith likes to say all the time, it would be kind of cool to also see the Cowboys beat the Bucs and have Cowboys fans' hopes be, up there thinking Super Bowl potentially.
That would not be cool. That would not be cool at all. I don't want to see that.
You don't want to?
I want to see them keep it close because I got Dak in fantasy. Listen, man.
Yeah. Of course. I'm just saying, like, obviously I don't want the Cowboys to win. I'm just saying, like, if the Cowboys win, I would like to see them and their fans have their hopes super high, and then for only them to just like crash.
And I will say this: if they open the season versus the champs in their stadium and beat them, their hopes should be high because that's impressive as hell. It's week 1, and a lot of fool's gold happens in week 1. But that is the way to start your season, especially in a division where we don't know how good the best team in the division is going to be or exactly who that best team is. That would be a hell of a way to start your season. And I think, like, unpopular opinion, I think Dallas is capable of it because Brady and them, it took them weeks to get together last year. I almost watched Daniel Jones beat them last year.
Yeah. Fair point there. But back to the Washington football team talk. The next question I want to ask you is regarding our tight end group. Obviously, Sammis Reyes is number 3 on the depth chart, I believe, ahead of Ricky Seals-Jones. Was that surprising for you to see in the final depth chart that was released by the team? And who do you think will actually produce more this year on the field when it comes to numbers? Sammis Reyes or rookie John Bates?
Oh, it'll definitely be John Bates. And I honestly think that depth chart is not representing what's actually going to happen. I think Sammis is going to be inactive for a while when the season starts. I think if Ricky Seals-Jones, with his experience, he's going to be there as a security blanket if something happens with our first or our young guy ahead of him. But Seals-Jones, at least he's nothing special. But one, shout out to Sammis for making a damn NFL roster when you've never played the sport and you've only played basketball.
August was the first time, right? I think.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Shout out to my guy Sammis. We're going to be doing some stuff with him in Lake Lewis on Tuesdays out here. I'm not going to, it's probably a little early for that announcement, but we're working on something right now. I can't wait. I can't wait to meet the dude. But yeah, man, he has to learn how to play. He has to learn the nuances of the position and the technique. But he has all heart and all effort. He's a willing blocker, and he's never done it before. But he's got a long way to go before I could probably trust him on an active roster. So I could see him being inactive for the first few weeks of the season. So John Bates definitely more production.
Okay, I agree with you, John Bates. Although they're at this point, they're both more known for their blocking than for their receiving ability. But I agree with you, John Bates, 4th round pick. Number 2 on the depth chart. I think he'll get some reps, some more reps over Sammis Reyes this year. Will Antonio Gibson have a Pro Bowl-like year this year? Or will Terry have one? Which, your opinion on that might have changed with the whole Curtis Samuel news and now defensive backs, basically going back to what they did last year and double covering, triple covering Terry McLaurin. What are your thoughts on the potential Pro Bowl seasons that we could see out of Antonio Gibson and or Terry McLaurin?
I know Terry's going to put numbers up because that's what he does. It doesn't matter what quarterback you put out there with him. And say what you want about the quarterback on our roster starting right now. He's better than what we've had. And I don't even think it's even a close competition. No. And Terry's going to get targets. Fitz is going to throw that shit to him a bunch of times. Like he's going to give him a bunch of targets. And Terry, his route running, he's been working with Doug Baldwin in the offseason as well to sharpen it even more. Ask Chad Ochocinco, who has some of the best feet and technique and stem their routes as good as Terry McLaurin. And not that it should put a big chip on his shoulder. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We got Cole Beasley and Corey Davis over him in the players' top 100. The Pro Bowl, just like the top 100 list, is a popularity contest. But he will put them on notice because we're going to be put on notice this year because we're a good team and we play a lot of good teams this year. So there will be a magnifying glass on a player like Terry McLaurin. Mm-hmm. When you're on a good team and you're a really good player, you're going to get that attention. So, yeah, I definitely expect it out of Terry. Gibson, I expect him to get a ton of touches a game because they're actually going to throw the ball to him this year. Last year, I feel like he had his plate so full learning how to play the running back position in the NFL and that they didn't want to complicate that with making him do the things he did naturally already as Memphis as a receiver. So we're going to see more of that this year. I think Scott is able to dig a little bit deeper into his duffel this year because he actually has a quarterback that's capable and intelligent and can move enough to run his offense.
Yeah. How about this one, though? This is a question that, I don't know. For me, it was a little bit harder to answer, to be honest with you. But what is more likely to happen this season? Chase Young winning Defensive Player of the Year or Jamin Davis winning Defensive Rookie of the Year?
Chase Young winning Defensive Player of the Year because I know right now he's already ready. Look, I'm predicting 17 sacks for Chase this year. I'm not even going to hide from that. And I firmly stand on 28 sacks between him and Montez, 11 for Tez, 17 for Chase. I believe it. He's going to take the second year leap trajectory that Khalil Mack and JJ Watt, TJ too, but he's going to take that career trajectory. We're going to see it right now, and he's going to learn how to get home a little bit better in his second year.
See, I just feel like Chase Young has a lot stiffer competition. We're talking about Aaron Donald, future Hall of Famer Aaron Donald, TJ Watt, who had 15 sacks last year, the most sacks in the league, and still was not named Defensive Player of the Year because there's a guy named Aaron Donald in this league. Myles Garrett as well, who I don't think enough people are talking about. I think Jamin Davis is more likely to win Defensive Rookie of the Year, even after the preseason that we've seen where, you know, he wasn't necessarily on top of things right away. I think Jamin Davis. I think Jamin Davis. I think Jamin Davis eventually it will click for him, and he'll be in contention for Defensive Rookie of the Year by the end of the season with guys like Michael Parsons, who unfortunately plays for the Cowboys, and some other guys around the league. But I think Jamin Davis actually has a higher chance of winning Defensive Rookie of the Year than Chase Young winning Defensive Player of the Year, largely because of the competition. Also, because I think this isn't going to be the year where Chase Young wins Defensive Player of the Year. I think it's going to be in 2022 when we have, you know, that quarterback hopefully in town, and this team will be ready to go potentially as a Super Bowl contender by that point. I think that's when Chase Young will ultimately win Defensive Player of the Year. I just think he's a year away. I don't think you can go from, in Chase Young's case, from 7.5 sacks last year to a Defensive Player of the Year sort of campaign this year. I mean, we've seen things like that happen in the past, right?
It's very possible too, because look how many near sacks he had. Like he should have had 12 plus sacks last year.
Yeah, but I feel like he was a little too inconsistent for my liking last year. And I think this year, I think that the jump that we're going to see from him is him being consistent every single week, getting a ton of pressures, if not sacks. I just think, again, when you have a guy like TJ Watt, Aaron Donald, who I know people get tired of being up there for Defensive Player of the Year, but I think he has to be the front runner every single year at this point.
He's the best player in the NFL. It's not a quarterback.
Easily. Yeah, if not Patrick Mahomes, yeah. But no, I just think, again, we're a year away from that.
Okay, so he's gonna be in that conversation. Like I at least expect him to be in the conversation this year. I don't know if he's gonna win it, but I think he can get 17 sacks and he could be in the discussion. But I would be totally fine with him winning his first Defensive Player of the Year when we're the Wolves next year.
Yeah, or the Red Wolves. Yeah, but now, of course, Rio. I don't know if you heard, but we got a game on Sunday.
Hell
Like week
yeah, we
one,
do.
first game versus
I'll
the
be
Los
there.
Angeles Chargers.
I'm in there.
We've been waiting all off season for it. Who are you most excited to see in this matchup on Washington, Los Angeles? Who are you most excited to see?
You know who I'm most excited to see? All of us fans in the crowd, because I went back. I did a rewatch with my guy. We ended up not dropping it because something went wrong with the technical difficulties. But I did a rewatch of week 1 last year with my guy Pascal from Tanya Snyder Podcast.
Yeah.
And man, I can never watch another football game with an empty crowd. It was so awkward. It was so freaking eerily awkward when they're just moving the ball up and down the field. They kick a field goal and you see no people in the. It's like soulless. Like, how do you feed off of that? Like, how do you get driven to do something? You have no energy in the atmosphere. But yeah, player wise, I want to see Jamin because I want to see what he can do in the speed of a real game when we're running our actual defense, because we're just running a bunch of base and just breaking a sweat in the preseason. I want to see him when he's out there, when the bullets are flying, and got Austin Eckler. You got a nice offense over there.
If Austin Eckler plays,
I think he's trending towards playing. And I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited to see the squad in general. And I can't even lie, he's on the other team. I'm excited to see their quarterback. I like Justin Herbert. I like Herbie. That kid is good, man. I'm excited.
I don't get all this talk about progression this year. I think Justin Herbert is going to take another step. I think he's one of the top quarterbacks in this league, and he'll continue to show that this year. I will say, though, with Washington, I mean, it's a layup. We've already talked about it. Talked about him. Dyami Brown, hence the thumbnail. I think he's going to be an absolute star in this game. I think Terry McLaurin is going to get a lot of the coverage by the very solid Chargers defensive back group, but I think that Dyami Brown will benefit from it. I think he'll get open a bit, and Ryan Fitzpatrick will find him. I'm most excited to see him on the field in his first regular season game action for the Washington football team. Los Angeles Chargers, I'm most excited to see it's a couple of guys. I'll agree with you. I think Justin Herbert has to be the top guy. I mean, he put up a spectacular season last year, rookie season.
Phenomenal.
All sorts of records. I think he'll only continue to improve. And hopefully we can contain him, make sure he doesn't go off for too many yards and too many touchdowns. But I think
it's okay if we prolong his MVP run till start next week. Like,
But bigger TV here. Which player do you think will step up? I know you talked about Cole Holcomb a little bit earlier in the stream, but if you care to expound on your opinions about Cole Holcomb and how big of an impact do you think it will have for our defense this year?
Cole Holcomb, yeah. I mean, I like Cole. Like I said, Jack Del Rio. I will listen to the guys that know linebackering when they say that they expect big years out of people, because I don't see Ron and Jack putting on little propaganda shows for players that they don't think can do it. So I think Cole's going to do it. I think Logan Thomas is going to step up and really secure that tight end 1 spot this year, because last year was his first year as a primary number 1 target, and he showed up for it. It was a rough start at first, but man, I'm ready to see it, man.
For sure. You talked about Austin Eckler a little bit. Who do you think will have the bigger day on the ground on Sunday?
Gibson. Gibson, easy. Okay. They're not like we have something to prove on defense this year, because we were getting gashed all year, and it was kind of happening again in preseason. We have something to prove defensively this year. It's not just the offense that has something to prove.
But Rio, you know why we were getting gashed last year? I think a lot of people out there might not really realize this, but when Matt Ioannidis went down for the rest of the season, our rush defense went from like elite. If you remember the first couple of games, we held a lot of the running backs that we played against to very limited yardage. Didn't give up too many touchdowns on the ground. We went from being very elite when it came to defending the run, which wasn't common for us, right? At least in recent history. went from elite to, I believe it was like 16th, 17th, like late teens, and when it came to rush defense in the league. So I think Matt Ioannidis being back will help solve a lot of the problems that we had last year with running backs gashing us all over the field.
Oh yeah, for sure. And Ioannidis is the most well-rounded lineman in that group. Like I say, like Jonathan Allen's the leader of the group. Payne is the most rawly athletic of the group. Ioannidis is the most well-rounded one in the group for sure.
Agreed. And now with the quarterbacks, will Ryan Fitzpatrick or Justin Herbert have a bigger day through the air?
I think Herbert's stat line will probably look better, but Fitzpatrick is going to get the W. I got him with a little bit under 300 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick, and then it gets it done.
Okay. I don't know. It's tough. You got great secondaries in my opinion on both sides. I agree with you though. Justin Herbert will probably have the better stats. Maybe because Austin Eckler, although he is trending towards playing, maybe he will be a little bit limited, right? And they'll try to pass the ball through the air a little bit more, and that will just inflate Justin Herbert's numbers. But ultimately, I think I agree with you. Ryan Fitzpatrick might be happier at the end of the day when it comes to this game. But next question I want to ask you: can Washington's offense score enough points against the Chargers defense led by Joey Bosa at edge and Derwin James now back at safety?
Monster. Yeah, I like Derwin James. They have a nice secondary. I like the kid that they took in the second round, son of a legend, Asante Samuel Jr. Yeah, man. They got some pieces. Their linebacker core, Kaiser White, Kenneth Murray in them, man. They got a nice little young, well-rounded defense. But yes, I do think the offense can do it. Now, I think this is the NFL, the people who put this game together, this is the perfect matchup. 2 7-9 teams.
Both and for rookie offense player of the year and
defensive rookie of the year. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Both of our offensive coordinators are the sons of a legend. North Turner and Vince Lombardi's grandson is their offensive coordinator. I love it.
Different levels of legend, but
different. Oh yeah, they're very different levels. But I like it. I like how they put it together because it's neither one of us is that much better than the other one. I think our defense is the best unit that will be on the field Sunday, and I hope that's the case. They definitely have a great quarterback. I don't want to hear anything. Oh, it was just 1 year. Let me see it again. Listen, I seen enough in that rookie year to already know. You know how you don't have to fry the league in your first year, even though he did. You have to show some things. Like Dwayne never shown us anything.
Except for maybe a game and a half. That was it.
We had to reach in that game and a half. That was the only base level quarterbacking he's shown. We had to reach. Like he would complete a slam. We were like, oh my God, he's back. He's here. Like I don't want to have to cheer for our quarterback taking a normal 3-step drop. And a good quarterback, you see it early. You don't have to see it in the numbers yet, but you see it early. And Herbert, you see it. But yeah, I think the offense is ready to go. I think we're going to win the game 21-17, man. I'm ready.
Okay. Was going to ask you for a score prediction. You gave one here. I think it will also be a close game. I don't know. I've just been going back and forth since this whole Curtis Samuel news that broke yesterday with him retweaking that groin injury. Originally, I had Washington winning 24-23. You know what? I'm gonna stick to that prediction. Washington will win 24-23. I think it'll be a very close game. Wouldn't surprise me whatsoever if the Chargers pull out the W on our home field on Sunday. But yeah, it should be a fun one. Is there anything else that you're looking forward to out of the game this week?
I know I'm looking forward to the fact that we get 2 games in like a 5-day span to open the season. Like we're getting spoiled. Then it's gonna be a long little wait to the next week. But could you imagine the feeling if we go 2-0 to start this year and we get to sit on 2-0 for like 10 days?
But like on the other end, if we go 0-2 that quickly,
it's gonna be spicy. It's gonna be spicy.
But I agree with you for sure. And if you're a head coach in this league and you're gonna have a Thursday night game, I mean, you might as well just have it like right out the gates, right? Like week 2, get it out of the way, then get the short week out of the way, and then move on. But I agree with you. 2 games that short. In terms of time span, I really like it as well.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some questions that I want to ask you before we wrap up that pertain to this team outside of this Week 1 matchup against the Los Angeles Chargers. The first question I want to ask you: how do you think the division shakes out this year? And do you think the winner of the division this year will actually get to double-digit wins, which we didn't see last year, and we didn't see the last time that Washington actually won this division as well?
Yeah, I think the winner of the division is going to win 10 or 11 games this year, and it's going to be us. I went from my first original prediction when the schedule came out was 9-8. I then got up and got bullish and said 11-6. But after going game by game and picking them the other day on my show, I went back to 10-7. So I think that creates a floor ceiling thing between 9 and 11, which is perfect. 10-7 should win the division, and I like it. Like, the schedule's hard. The schedule's supposed to be hard. We won a division last year, and it's the NFL. Parity changes, injuries happen, and you know what I'm saying? You play. It's a schedule. It's a piece of paper. Go out and produce. If this team is as gritty and tough and defensively minded as we think, then they'll be fine. I'm excited. The one absolute I will say about the division: the Eagles have no shot in hell at winning this division. They're the only team in the division I will count out. I will already book 2 wins versus the Eagles. That's probably arrogant, but I'm gonna book 2 wins versus them right now, and they will be drafting a quarterback next year. No disrespect to Jalen Hurts.
You saw Kyle Brandt from Good Morning Football having the Eagles in his projected NFC playoff group this year, not having us. Yeah. But I don't think the winner of this division will get double-digit wins this year. I think Washington will still win it, but I think they'll be 9-8. And Dallas will also be 9-8, but Washington will have the tiebreaker over them this year. And I have New York going 8-9 and Philly going 6-11. That's how I think the division shakes out. Again, I think Washington will win the division. I think 8-10 wins is the range, not necessarily 9-11. And I think Washington will be held back a little bit by the quarterback, Ryan Fitzpatrick. But at the same time, of course, it will be better quarterback play than we had last year, which I don't know if it's saying much, but it's saying something, right?
It's saying enough.
Yeah, it's saying enough. But I think 9-8 is pretty fair for us. And hopefully Curtis Samuel comes back sooner rather than later, though. I don't think it will shift my record prediction much, but I think it will at least give me some confidence in the 9-8 prediction as is. But talk about playoff teams, Kyle Brandt with that wacky playoff order, putting the Eagles in the playoffs ahead of the Washington football team. Absolutely insane. Who are your NFC and AFC playoff teams this year with football technically starting as we speak?
Okay, well, I know Super Bowl. I can give you my Super Bowl pick right now. I'm taking the Chiefs to win it this year. Take your pick of who you want them to play. I got them beating the Packers in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
But NFC West, I think the Rams are going to win it. I think the NFC East, we got it. The NFC North, the Packers. Oh, easy.
Yeah, gotta be the Chiefs,
and then NFC South is going to be Tampa. No, what am I talking about? Tampa. Unless Jameis just goes insane this year. But no, Tampa's going to win it. And
3 wild cards?
3 wild cards. That's interesting. I think NFC East could get 2 playoff teams this year.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I think us and the Cowboys. Yeah, I think us and the Cowboys could both get in. It'd be cool to play them in the first round. You know how hyped that would be?
Ooh, at home? At home?
Like, yeah, they see the people that saw the glory days, they got to see stuff like Dallas coming to town in important playoff games. I want to see that. Like, I want to be a part of that. Hell yeah. But yeah, man, like that's how I see the shocker team that's going to win more games than expected. New York Jets. I think they're going to win seven. I think they're going to win 7 or 8 games.
Remember, I am the Zach Wilson fan, bro.
Hell yeah, I remember.
Yes, you know. So like, I'm with you. I think Corey Davis. I know we gave him flack for like that top 100 like list and all that, but I think Corey Davis can have a great season as the number 1 target in that Jets offense. I think Elijah Moore, second round pick from Ole Miss.
My guy,
Ole Miss back 3 with receivers in this league right now, but.
Dang. I love.
Yeah, Elijah Moore. I agree. That's actually a good take.
Yeah. That's my surprise team of the year. Maybe. My rookie of the year, Mac Jones. Mac Jones. I've been telling people. I think it's gonna be him or Zach Wilson for offensive rookie of the year. But yeah, I'm ready to see Mac go to work, man. I've been telling people Mac is going to be a good quarterback in this league, and a lot of people are going to eat crow on that one. And I'm ready to take my victory lap.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people just hating out there for absolutely no reason. But I agree with you, man. Mac Jones is legit. Beat out Cam Newton in that preseason battle, and I'm looking forward to seeing the Patriots and which is kind of crazy to say because we're always
Cam Newton.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But no, I think their defense will be back. I mean, obviously they had 8 opt-outs last year because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I think New England will be back, maybe potentially Super Bowl contender mix. I don't know. We'll see. But I think in terms of did you want to get to the AFC as well before I go into my pick?
Okay. The Ravens are gonna win it. Oh no. Don't want the Ravens. Ravens are gonna win. The Ravens again. I don't know, man. They've lost all these players to injury this year, man. It feels like
Gus Edwards. You saw that?
Hell yeah. And Peters got hurt too. You know, they're out here making sacrifices right now to finally get them into the Super Bowl.
Season-ending injuries for their running backs.
They make. I don't know what they're doing in Baltimore. They're out here making human sacrifices to make the Super Bowl. I don't know what the hell is happening. Yeah, it looks rough over there. You know what? The Browns are good though, but I'm gonna take the Ravens. I'm gonna take Lamar and them in that division. I got Buffalo in their division, the Titans in their division, and the Chiefs in their division. They're gonna, the Chiefs are gonna go 15-2. Like Mahomes is about to destroy the league after what happened in the Super Bowl. They went out and purchased that man an entire ass offensive line. Like, what happened in the Super Bowl? We're here to assure you, $500 million man. That's not gonna happen again. So yeah, the Chiefs are gonna kill everybody this year. That's what's gonna happen this year. They're gonna run through the league this year.
Yeah. Okay. Fair picks. I pretty much agree with you on all of the teams that you picked. I will say, though, with the AFC, I have the Browns winning the AFC North, and I'll talk a little bit more about the why, or not why, but where I see the Browns going in a little bit.
They're probably their favorite.
The Browns, Buffalo, I agree with you. I think you still got to take the Bills or the Patriots, although I think the Patriots will still make the playoffs in the AFC this year.
I might be wrong about the Rams winning the West, too. The Niners might win the West, but I'm picking Matt Stafford with McVay to win that division.
See, yeah, before the Cam Akers injury, I thought the Rams were legit. I mean, they're still pretty legit Super Bowl contenders, but like bona fide, like I could easily see them in the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Now I still can. I still have the Rams winning. So back to the AFC, though, Titans and Chiefs. I agree with you there. And then with the NFC, I agree with you completely. Bucks, Packers, Rams, Washington. I think all those teams are great. This might be a bold take. I see all four of the NFC West teams making the playoffs this year. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, that's spicy. You know what? That actually makes sense, though. I can actually see that. Like schedule-wise, that sounds like that's impossible. But I can see it because the worst team in the division is Arizona, and they're on the rise.
Yeah, they added guys. J.J. Watt, although he's getting older, they still added J.J. Watt, A.J. Green, Kyler Murray in another year of development.
Rondell Moore
as well. Yeah, I see that. I could see the Cowboys finding their way in, but I don't know, man. Seahawks, 49ers, Cardinals, Rams, they're all great teams. And yeah, I see that happening. AFC Championship game, I got Chiefs versus Browns. I think the Browns are going to make it to the AFC Championship game this year over the Bills, over the Patriots, over all these teams that a lot of people are talking about. The Browns are absolutely stacked. Their offense is stacked. Their running back group, of course, best in the league, Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. I can see Nick Chubb running for 1,700 yards this season behind that insanely good offensive line that they have up there in Cleveland. Defensively, they added a bunch of guys. They added John Johnson III from the Rams, one of the best safeties in the league on a very, very affordable contract. Also, Troy Hill, I believe, as well. The slot cornerback and that same elite Rams defense from last year. I think the Browns, man. They also added Jock as well, J.O.K., who I know a lot of fans out there wanted instead of Jamin Davis, and we'll see. I mean, it seems like J.O.K. has done more in the preseason thus far than Jamin Davis, but I think we got to give Jamin Davis time before we make before we have a take on that. But
I don't need preseason heroes. I've seen enough of those.
Yeah.
Troy Hapke was all the rage in camp last year, and what did that do for us? Don't get too into what we saw in a fake season.
Fair.
Mm-hmm.
Super Bowl, Chiefs, Packers. Agree with you. I think the Packers are going to win it, though. I think this is the last dance. Exactly. I think Aaron Rodgers is even more motivated than last year, which is a scary thing because this man's put up insane numbers on a MVP campaign. Davante Adams, I think, is going to go off this year as well. Lucky to those people who drafted him in fantasy, very lucky. But I think the Packers are going to win it. Aaron Rodgers is going to go to Washington next offseason, and then he's going to win back-to-back. That's how this is going to win.
Oh, my God. Please write the Disney movie right now. I love it. I write the script. Speaking into existence. Colleen Wolfe. I had her speaking into existence on the show. I need it. I need that energy. Mike Silver, he could have easily just been like, he could have easily just shot it down. No, they got Fitzpatrick in the bit. He didn't do that. He said he's going to be priority A, B, and C for him and most of the league next offseason. That's what
even
I want to
at
hear.
Age 38, a lot of people out there think, getting up there in age. I mean, we're seeing Brady. We're seeing this league that is very much protective of quarterbacks right now. Aaron Rodgers could play until he's 44. 43, 44 years old. So that gives us at least a 5-6 year window to win a Super Bowl. And I think we could do that with him in town. Last question I want to ask you, Rio, before we head out. I know you want to see the game. I want to see the game. All the people out there who are watching want to see the game. What are your thoughts on the future of this Washington football franchise? And do you think Coach Rivera is building a winner to the point where this team might win a Super Bowl in the next 2 to 3 years? I asked you this question on the last time you were on the live stream, and I want to ask you now after what we saw the preseason and leading up to this week 1 matchup.
Oh yeah, I'm still 10 toes down. I believe in what's being built here. It's more than just what we're seeing on the field. It's what we're seeing off the field. It's what we're seeing, like what I got to see that week I was down in Richmond for training camp. It's the environment. It's the whole system, the whole outfit that's here now. It's positive. There are intelligent people running things. And the players believe in it. The mood of practice is different. They're about business now. There's no more Club J in the DMV. That does not exist anymore. Yeah, I think we're building something. I think we're almost built already. We're a couple holes away. And come on now, you just imagine winning back-to-back division titles and they pop in a Aaron Rodgers in this. Man, it would be pandemonium.
I heard some people out there who think that Washington could actually fit or squeeze both Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams on the team next year, bringing them both.
I don't see that. That sounds far-fetched as hell.
Okay, I don't see it either, but I think the idea of boosting the wide receiving core in general alongside bringing in Aaron Rodgers.
You know who you could fit with Davante Adams? His college quarterback, Derek Carr, if you got him over here, because Derek Carr is a good quarterback and he's not going to make $40 million a year. So you could fit him, even though we're not going to need Davante because Diami about to come over and be as good as Terry, and we're about to have one on each side. We're not going to need it. And Curtis going to be healthy. So, we're going to be all right, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Won't be a Paul Richardson situation there, but but yeah, I agree with you. I mean, nothing's changed. I think I've been saying since Ron Rivera was hired, 2022 would be the year for Washington to be in legit Super Bowl contention. I'm not backing off that statement. I don't think we can really, off of what we saw last year, what we've seen throughout the offseason. Although Curtis Samuel, he needs to be back sooner rather than later. I think that's a huge piece. They signed him for $13 million a year for a reason. A lot of fans out there think he's just a gadget piece. He's just someone that we could easily move on from and stuff. But no, we can't.
Nah, that don't work like that.
I think, and I agree with you. I think quarterback away, hopefully Aaron Rodgers, or maybe trading up in the draft for a guy, for a quarterback, young quarterback, and then maybe adding a receiver. But that's pretty much it, in my opinion. Maybe a linebacker, maybe a backup linebacker next offseason. But I think we're full steam ahead. Washington football team, legit Super Bowl contention within the next 2 to 3 years. Rio, thank you so much, bro, for joining me on this Washington Football Weekly live stream. For those of you guys who don't know, was very short notice. Rio was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm down. And I appreciate you, Rio, for joining once again. Do you want to plug anything before we sign off?
Oh yeah, man. Just check out the channel, Rambling with Rio Robinson. I just posted a couple hours ago my week 1 game preview with the Chargers Unleashed podcast. It's my guy Dan Wolkenstein, Jake Hefner. They host a really good show over there. And we broke it down from all angles, and we had some good, fun Marvel Cinematic Universe conversation to end it. So it's good stuff. Check out the channel. I'm gonna have more guests coming, 3 to 4 videos a week, and the grind don't stop. The energy is going to be even better on the show if we win games.
Yeah, I agree with you there. And speaking of Dan, I think I might be able to actually have Dan on Monday, actually, as a post game sort of like interview and stuff. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But Rio, I made sure to plug your YouTube in the description. But for you guys who haven't checked it out, make sure to go check out his YouTube, sub him up. He's rapidly growing right now. I mean, bringing in the biggest names, the Washington football team community, podcast community, but also outside this community as well. Some really good people in NFL media as well. So make sure you guys go sub him up, support him on Twitter, support him on all channels. Rio, thanks again for joining me. Everybody, the NFL season has begun. Technically has begun while we're talking about our team right now. But Cowboys, Bucks, enjoy the game tonight, guys. Hopefully the Bucks get the W. Repping the Washington football team swag right there in Rio Robinson. And I'm Nazi Alazar, and see you guys on the next video. We'll probably have a post-game recap. I'll probably have a post-game recap on Sunday after the game. So see you guys on the next video on the channel.
Peace, bro.